You hold a rattle in front of a 4-month-old baby. She reaches for it, grasps it, shakes it, explores it with her mouth. Now you hide the rattle under a cloth while she watches. For a moment she looks at where it was, then her gaze drifts. She makes no effort to search for it. It's as if the rattle has ceased to exist entirely. This is not forgetting. This is a fundamental feature of cognition at this stage of development. For the young infant, objects exist only when they are being directly perceived. The world, for the baby, is not a permanent collection of objects that continue to exist independently of perception. It is a flow of experiences, each present when perceived, absent when not. Jean Piaget called this the absence of object permanence, and understanding it is the key to understanding the first great stage of cognitive development, the sensorimotor stage. The sensorimotor stage runs from birth to approximately 2 years, and it is characterized by the fact that the infant understands and interacts with the world almost entirely through direct sensory experience and motor action. There is no representational thought, no mental imagery, no language-based concepts, no inner world of symbols that stand in for external reality. The infant knows the world through touching, grasping, mouthing, looking, and moving. Hence, sensorimotor. But to describe this period as merely physical is to dramatically underestimate the cognitive achievement it represents. Piaget identified 6 substages within the sensorimotor period, each marking a qualitative advance in the infant's understanding of the world. In the first substage, from birth to about 1 month, behavior is entirely reflexive. Sucking, grasping, looking, crying. These built-in responses constitute the infant's entire behavioral repertoire. They are not yet adapted to the world. They are simply activated by it. From 1 to 4 months, the first adaptations occur. Primary circular reactions emerge. The infant discovers an interesting effect produced by their own body and repeats it to reproduce the experience. Thumb sucking is a classic example. The discovery is accidental. The repetition is deliberate. The infant is learning, through action, that actions have repeatable consequences. From 4 to 8 months, secondary circular reactions appear. Now the infant's attention shifts from their own body to the external world. They discover that their actions affect objects outside themselves and begin to repeat those actions to reproduce interesting environmental effects. Batting a mobile to make it spin. Shaking a rattle to hear the sound. The infant is beginning to discover the world as a system of causes and effects, objects, and reactions. From 8 to 12 months comes the crucial development of the first intentional behaviors. For the first time, the infant can coordinate 2 schemas in service of a goal. They can remove an obstacle in order to reach a desired object. This is the beginning of means-end reasoning, the first hints of genuine problem-solving. And it is at this substage that object permanence first emerges, a rudimentary form of it. If you hide a toy under a cloth, the infant will now search for it. The object continues to exist in some sense in the infant's mind. But object permanence is still incomplete. The classic demonstration is the A not B error. If you hide a toy under cloth several times, and the infant successfully retrieves it, and then you hide the toy under cloth B while the infant watches, the infant still searches under cloth A. They search where the object was found before, not where they just saw it hidden. It is as if the object's location is partly defined by the action that retrieved it previously, not by its actual position. From 12 to 18 months, the tertiary circular reaction phase brings active experimentation. The infant now deliberately varies actions to explore how the world responds, dropping objects from different heights, testing what happens when different objects are pushed. This is Piaget's little scientist in full action, systematic, curious, evidence-gathering. Finally, from 18 to 24 months, symbolic representation emerges. The infant begins to be able to mentally represent objects and events, to think about things not present. They can solve problems through internal mental combinations rather than exclusively through trial and error. Object permanence reaches its final form. The child can track invisible displacements, understanding that an object hidden behind a screen is still there even if the hiding involved complex sequences. The sensorimotor stage is not just the beginning of cognition. It is the construction of the basic categories through which all subsequent cognition operates: space, time, causality, and the permanence of objects. Built through physical interaction with the world, these categories become the invisible architecture of all later thought. Subscribe to Psychology. Theories explained for more psychology breakdowns every week.